Hello everybody, I'm Jo Bendel, productivity coach and founder of the Wildly Successful Society, and I'm joined today by the very fabulous Shalini Nandan, and I'm going to be digging into Shalini's brains about how to protect ourselves online. Now, Shalini is a rock star. She's a professional lawyer for over 15 years. Shalini offers caring, practical and effective legal advice and services to online business owners to ensure that we're educated, protected and empowered. Now, I have had the pleasure of meeting Shalini in real life, and she's a bundle of fabulous energy, so I'm super excited to chat today. Hello, amazing lady. Thank you for joining me today to talk all things illegal.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me, Jo. It's so great to see you again. So,
thank you.
Yeah, I'm excited about this chat.
It's going to be juicy. So I noticed basically that some of my widely successful ladies were concerned about whether they were truly protecting themselves online. They have given me some questions to ask you, but I just kind of want to start with, an overview. Why is it so important to, as you lovingly put it, know your legals?
Well, first of all, let me say, if they're participating in your fabulous program on productivity, they are approaching a point of in their growth where they need to step up as far as professionalism goes in their business, and how they're showing up in their business other than just in marketing. So, to your question, why do they need all of this? It's a stage in business. It's a business responsibility. You get to a point in your business where people are paying for your services. There are laws and consumer behaviour that's involved that needs to be reflected in how you're doing business. And so this is where you now start looking at your business and the terms and conditions under which you run your business, how you want those terms and conditions to be communicated to your clients. Two things happen here. You're protecting your business and you're educating your clients, and you're also learning a hell of a lot about how your own business works, like really. It's quality assuring your business process from when you thought it up and created it to when you rolled it out, and then finally to when you're delivering it. So yeah, it's a completely normal space to be considering now. If you are upping your productivity and you're seeing clients and you've got traction on your website, it's time to think about business legals.
Yeah, and it's not the first thing that we think about when we're busy doing our thing. It's kind of like it can be something that's an afterthought. So, obviously why we're here today. So I had lots of questions about terms and conditions. That kind of sort of like the thing that, what are they? Why do we need them? Where should we put them?
Okay.
Yeah, should we start with that?
It's not as difficult or complex as it sounds. Look, generally when you have a business, you look at the type of business or the type of service that you're providing. So if you have every business has a website, and there are people visiting the website. So there are terms and conditions or terms of use in relation to the website that you need. Okay, people are coming to your website. There are house rules about how they visit, how they interact, how they use the information, what you provide warranties and guarantees for, and what disclaimers you have in place. So information that you're not responsible for. So that's to do with your website. And I'm talking about that first because that's where we head when we set up a business. Oh my God, I need a website now that I've thought I might do this business. It may not be the day you start, but certainly over the next 12 months, a website will begin to be integrated into your business idea.
Most of my clients will hide behind their website instead of actually getting out there and taking the action. So yeah, a website is a big thing, and that's definitely where
very important. Yes. The second thing is don't make the mistake of thinking that just because you have your basic terms and your website terms up that covers it. If you're doing different things on your website, so if you're running a membership site, if you're running an online course or program that you're selling from your site or from an attached site like Thinkific or Teachable or one of those platforms, or if you're selling products, you've got a shop, an online shop. Please
Yeah.
remember, that's the other thing. They require separate terms and conditions because the interaction is different than just coming on. So a general visitor to your website is one thing, but if they go on to then buy something or sign up to your membership site or sign up to your online course, then there needs to be terms and conditions for those specific activities on your website. Okay, so that's where they will sit. Terms and conditions also always sit before people buy. Okay, so you'll notice that all website legals sit on the home page. You are invited to go to that first. If you're not happy with it, don't proceed with the website, going onto the website. It's the same with membership sites. The terms and conditions of what's in that membership site, what it costs, how long it goes for, how you can renew, how you can use the information, the code of conduct while on that site, what types of content is on the site, the intellectual property rules around it. They are all stated before the Pay Now button. You need to read and agree to the terms and conditions. Okay?
Such a good point, isn't it?
And also the same applies for your online courses. People need to know what the course is about, what they're paying for, what the refund and cancellation is, what their obligations are as course participants, what to expect. All that needs to be made clear to them, not on the sales page. That's not enough. That's not an agreement. Okay? It has to be before they buy, before they proceed to the Buy Now button. So that's on your website. All right, and it's like when you go to buy something online. If you make a purchase on eBay or whatever, there is a tick box there that says, "I agree to these terms and conditions." Sometimes, unless you've clicked, you have to click the link, go in, come out, tick the box, and then it'll allow you to proceed to payment. Otherwise, it'll keep taking you back to you need to tick the terms and conditions. That's what I'm talking about.
That is fabulous.
Now, yeah, so it's a real, I think people tend to overlook it, that it's not a requirement. But in fact, good business practice requires that you educate your clients, inform them about what's the deal. Yeah. Because they are buying something. And then ultimately, if there's a problem, you have a client that wants to bail before the period, leave the membership site or before the term is up, or has a complaint, has an issue. There's nothing in place to manage those things if you don't have the terms and conditions. At the very least, if the terms and conditions are there and they've used an article or some of your content without your permission, you have something to refer them to and say, this was, you've breached it, so you need to do something about it. It's the same with when they come to you for a refund or cancellation. If there's no rules up there, no terms and conditions, then you have to refund the money. It's as simple as that. Yeah. It doesn't matter. If you don't have a leg to stand on. And consumer law, does not allow you to just have a blanket no refund policy. It's not. There's got to be a conversation about it at some stage.
Oh, really?
And it's usually in some circumstances, yes, it depends on the product. But generally speaking, you can't say there are no refunds, full stop. You have to have a policy around it. They have to be given step by step on how to actually apply for a refund, under what reasons are refunds considered, etc.
Right.
So, yeah. So that's on your website alone.
Yeah. So of course, can I just jump in and ask so on the website, when it's not a program, it's not a membership, they're not selling anything, but it's their standard website. So we normally see. There's a link at the bottom on mine, for instance, that takes them to terms and conditions and privacy policy. And that's enough, right? It doesn't have to, it's just at the bottom in the footer of all the web, of all my pages.
That's right, yes, that's where it sits. Now, there's a couple of ways of doing that, depending on the complexity of your business and how much, what is the nature of the information on your website. So some people have a Clickwrap agreement where you can't actually go into the website until you have viewed that terms and conditions. Generally speaking, though, they are available. They're there. In terms of enforcement, it's better to some argue it's better to have that Clickwrap agreement. But generally speaking, the fact that it's on the front page on your home page, and it's now very, very much people look for that. Is your website professional enough? Is your business professional enough actually to have those in place? And people are now clicking on it and seeing whether is it something that is under construction because they couldn't be bothered to go in and actually put proper documents on their website, or have they ripped off a template from somewhere else and actually, like, it's very obvious when they've done that because they haven't adapted it or customized it to their own business. But that's a whole different story.
Yeah.
I don't do templates, so
yeah. And that's a great example of question is like, where should people go to get like templates or things like that? If they're starting out, is there a way that you've got, I don't know, you say you don't provide templates, but you've got checklists.
No, at the moment I don't. I have worksheets on my website that you can download, and they will help you to answer questions that appear on templates that you can buy.
Right.
But it'll help you customize, right?
Yeah.
I have in the pipeline my own templates. I just have been so busy I haven't got around to doing anything about it. But generally speaking, the people that there is in this space, if you are not comfortable with it, right, get them customized, get them branded, get them customized, because when someone like myself does them for you, we quality assure what's on your website. We also quality assure what you understand. Plus, we make sure it's relevant to your jurisdiction and applies with the consumer law in the jurisdiction that you're operating in. So these are the things that a template may not necessarily get you to. Another thing is a template is not legal advice. You will still need to check for compliance, because it's a product that you've purchased. After that, there is no unless you usually with a template that there will be a disclaimer on the template that says, this is not a relationship between a legal practitioner and you. This is a product. We don't claim to have any real knowledge or understanding of your business.
Yeah.
So you can take this away and do what you like with it. Okay. So you've got to be very mindful that a template is just that. It's just an outline of what you can do. It's not what is necessarily appropriate for your business.
Yeah, excellent. That's so helpful. Thank you. So another thing that came up was that a lot of people are in the wellness industry and maybe selling courses. And they were asking, do we need a certain type of insurance as well as terms and conditions, or as well as is a disclaimer enough? Is there, is there a quick chat we can have about insurance?
Yeah, there is definitely. So you will need to obtain insurance if you are providing wellness and therapy type services, okay, because you are providing advice, you're providing it's the same, it's just a business insurance. You will need to find an insurer that covers your category of business, and there is a plethora of them out there. So I won't comment, I won't make suggestions, because everybody in productivity, it's worldwide. It just depends on where your business is operating from. So if you want help with that, contact me privately and I'll see if I can help you. So that's number one. Yes. Number two is a lot of insurers require that you have proper terms and conditions and a disclaimer in place. So a disclaimer is not enough.
Right.
Okay. It needs to be there, but it also needs to be supported by a client agreement or a business terms and conditions. If you are providing one-on-one services, you need to have a client agreement with your clients about your particular session or services or package of services that you're providing. And that covers things like what's going to happen, what the service is, what's included in the services, what the process of booking is, what the process of rescheduling is, what happens if you decide you don't want to proceed, what your refund situation is, how can someone cancel, can you terminate a client if it's not working out, what do they need to do to show up and make sure the session is going to work for everybody, what are the outcomes that you promise, what are the outcomes that you don't promise, okay, what the actual nature of the relationship is, because a coaching and a therapeutic relationship needs to be stated. Clients have to be honest with you to make the relationship work. So all of these things need to be captured in something that is communicated to the client before they pay for the session.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, totally.
And it shouldn't be something scary. It should be a document that really you stand in your truth in, like that's how you work, this is what you do. You got to love it. You've got to stand by it. You've got to respect your own processes before other people will respect it. So if there is something that you are not comfortable with and you are afraid that clients will run away if you give them this document, then we need to talk.
And then
we need to talk about that, why you feel that way and how to draft it or change the process or alter it or present it in a way that you do not feel that way.
Absolutely. And that brings up another question that came up, was like one of the ladies was saying that I think she said she's got a membership, but like people go to their bank and say that payment shouldn't have gone out, and then they have the payment reversed. So again, that's something the terms and conditions would
cover.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. So you're educating a client before they join up about this whole idea of please don't join up if this is what you're going to do. All right. So in your terms and conditions, you'll address that issue. That if you are considering terminating a membership, there's a process. Please contact me. Let's discuss it. Okay, because you are the one that it's you that has set up the process by which they can opt out with a direct debit at any time. You haven't used a program or a software or third-party gateway like Easy Debit that does it from your end. So there are some programs that allow you, that they have to contact you and say, I don't want to do this anymore, right? But a lot of providers don't do that. They just ask, that you sign up on PayPal and you can opt out, but there is that risk that will happen. The way around it is to educate your client about why that is not something that should be done without a discussion. Okay, and you would want, of course, nobody wants that to happen, but it pays to communicate with the client, build relationship, discuss what's happened, find out where it is that it's fallen down. Having said that, though, if your membership side is clear in its terms and conditions that a membership is for 12 months, and even if you pay monthly, you are still liable for the remainder of the months. If you've just changed your mind, it's not good enough, then you can still pursue them. That you can still enforce that debt until the end of the membership period. But these are things that you would need to discuss.
Get advice,
to work through. We need to work through these things and then make sure that you understand them, they're presented properly in your terms and conditions, and that your client understands them.
Yes. Oh my goodness. And then one of my ladies was talking about trademarking her name and when she should do that because she's having issues with somebody using the name of her business.
Okay, so is it her own name? So when you have your own name, like Joe Bendel, usually you don't need to trademark that because that's your name. You own it. Okay. But if you have a business name, like for example, my business name is Legally Shalini and my tagline is Love Your Legals. Now, I need to trademark that is trademarkable, right? And the reason for that is because firstly, the tagline is something that can be used by other people.
Yes.
Very easily.
Yeah.
And Legally Shalini is not my actual name, even though Shalini is in there, right? So to your question, when do you trademark? Well, it's not a question of when. It's have you got a history of using that name already? If other people are using that name, you've got to find out from when were they using that name, because if they started using that name before you, then that you are unlikely to succeed in a trademark application if that other party can prove that they started using the name before you. Okay. So you're setting up a common law trademark of prior, by prior usage. So it's not that straightforward a question. Again, it's probably something she will need to seek advice on.
Yes, absolutely.
But the thing is, if you're using a business name and you're creating a brand and you're worried about people using it, and it appears to you that people are using that name, then that's a really big signal to start making investigations about trademarking.
Yeah, okay.
It's not rocket science.
Yeah. It's so exciting, and I know that you've got so many things that we want to tap into. But I think that it's just a reminder that it's so important for people to get the proper advice, get legal advice for things like this. And so I just want to kind of just wrap up and make it clear for everybody. What are the most important legal documents to invest in if you're just starting out and you may be, you may be strapped for cash, but how do we really need to protect ourselves? So we've got terms and conditions, contracts for our one-on-one clients, and our programs, and the privacy policy on the website. Is there anything else?
No, you look at what you're doing. Okay, so if you are seeing one-on-one clients, you need a client agreement.
Yeah.
If you're providing a range of services, you need to have general business terms and conditions. I can help you decide which one will work. Sometimes you need both, but generally I can get it drafted cleverly or correctly. You can get away with one.
Yeah,
that covers both.
Nice.
If you look at what's happening on your website, if it's just straight up website, there's no other interactions happening on it, no membership sites, no courses, no shops, then you just need website legals. Okay. If you have other interactions on it, you need terms and conditions for those interactions. If you are employing people, as in engaging outsourcing, then you should consider asking for their client agreement. Okay, so if you are using a graphic designer, if you are using a bookkeeper, if you are using a productivity coach, if they're doing one-on-one work, ask for a client agreement, because you are paying good money, sometimes in excess of thousands of dollars. For that particular group package of coaching or whatever. It is within your rights to ask for that, and you must be in a position to offer that if somebody asks you for that documentation. It's a sign of business maturity. It's a sign you are growing. It's a sign you are stepping up, and it's a sign you're taking responsibility.
Absolutely.
If you don't have those things, you're an amateur.
Exactly.
Okay, you're not there to stay.
That's it.
You're a fly-by-nighter.
Yeah, and it's so true, and I love that because it's so true. Like, my clients can't work one-on-one with me without signing a client agreement. And it's
absolutely, it's
for both
critical.
of us, like you said, for both of us to understand the relationship that we're doing together. My goodness,
it places value on the relationship. It places an importance and a value on the relationship that is it's missing. It's missing if there isn't something to formalize it. And that's where I think
and it protects you.
It's wonderful that your ladies have these questions. It does. It protects you, but it also allows you to grow and build relationships, because you use that document to not only protect you, but to negotiate from, to expand your services, to develop your ideas, to open up different ways of working. If something isn't working because something else is happening in your business, it will show up in your client agreement or your business terms and conditions for sure.
Right. Oh, thank you. Well, I'm conscious of time. I don't want to keep you, but I want to say thank you for yeah, just giving us this, you know, like sharing your time and your genius with us, because I think it's so important that that we all, like you said, step up and be the business owner that we desire to be, and protect, you know, protect ourselves as well as our clients. And now I know that probably people want to delve deeper and have got questions. So what's the best way for them to get in touch with you?
Look, on my website, there's an opportunity to just book in a free chat with me. I would suggest they do that.
Yeah,
that's the easiest thing. I'm pretty easy to find. You can message me if you can find me. I'm often I'm active in the productivity group, your group.
Yeah.
So feel free to ask me any questions there and tag me. I'm more than happy to answer questions. I think it's a very important part of developing your own advocacy skills in your business, to take charge of these aspects of your business, you know, to become a better business operator.
I totally agree. And I love, you know, how you bring this to us in a way that's, you know, and a topic that's actually can be quite scary. I love how you bring it to us in a way that's loving and, you know, it's empowering. You use the word empowering on your website. It does empower us, and that's, you know, that's what it's about. So I'll share Shalini's website. I know you've also got a free checklist around what to put in your client agreement, so we'll put your website there, and if anyone's got questions, they can get in touch.
There's a lot of free resources on my website, checklists and all of that. You know, if you have any questions or just need to talk about it, I think it's just best we have a chat. That's a good start.
Jump on there. So thank you so much, and we
You're
are
welcome.
very, very grateful. So until the next time, take care, Shalini. Thank you.